Hey everybody, I'm Carl Lanning, Brazos River Charter School with This Week in History, specifically the week of July 26th through August 1st. So, last week you may remember I mentioned something about innovation, and oh how things have changed. Well, if you're running around anywhere in Texas, especially the DFW area, you probably recognize Six Flags Over Texas. And it was quite an innovator. It was on August the 1st of 1961 that the Six Flags Over Texas had its what was called soft opening, with the owner inviting several area mayors and 8,000 of their closest friends to check the place out that had just been built. The official opening was 4 days later. Six Flags is Texas's top for-profit tourist attraction, with an average attendance of about 3 million people a year, although I have a feeling the year 2020 may be a little lower than that. But anyway, now Six Flags was a pioneer in many, many ways. It was the first amusement park to offer one price, all-inclusive admission, instead of having to pay a price admission and then going in and buying tickets for all the individual rides. It was the first one to have a log flume ride, a mine train ride. In later years, the first 360-degree looping roller coaster, the first parachute drop, and the first river rapids ride. Now, the only ride that is still there from the park's original opening in 1971 is the Six Flags and Texas Railroad that takes you around the park. The antique cars came in 1962, and the log ride in 1963. Now, I sure do wish prices were the same, unfortunately. The prices have definitely changed. Admission was $2.75 for adults, $2.25 for kids. Parking was 50 cents. A hamburger would be 35 cents, and a soda set you back a cool dime. So, 1961, Six Flags Over Texas. Also on August 1st, but in 1906, the first and really only commercially viable diamond mine in the United States started operations near Murfreesboro, Arkansas. Now, the landowner found 2 diamonds on his property and immediately sold the mining rights to a group of investors. The largest diamond that was ever found when it was operating as a mine was nicknamed the Uncle Sam diamond. 1924, I think. It weighed 40.23 carats rough, was cut to about 12.5 carats. The last time it sold in 1971, it sold for $150,000. Now, the mine was very rarely ever profitable, and in 1972, it was sold to the state of Arkansas and ended up becoming the Crater of Diamonds State Park. It's still there today. The public can visit and search for diamonds themselves. Any other minerals too, for that matter. There are some others you can find as well. And anything you find, you're willing to do with as you please. You can keep it or sell it if you will. That's your business. Approximately 33,000 diamonds have been found since it became a state park. Now, the largest one that's ever found by an individual visiting it as a park is called the Amarillo Starlight, which rough weighed 16.37 carats, about 7.5 finished, and is estimated to be worth around $175,000. So, get your own diamond. July 27th of 1988, a man by the name of Frank Zamboni died. Now, you may recognize that last name. He was, of course, the inventor of the Zamboni ice resurfacing machine. He and his brother had an ice-making business. Primarily what they did was sell to shippers who needed to keep their products cool for the railroads. But in the 1930s, that business was dying real fast because of refrigerated railroad cars. So they decided to open up an ice skating rink just outside of Los Angeles. As a matter of fact, the ice skating rink is still there. It's still owned by the Zamboni family to this day. The problem, though, was resurfacing and smoothing the ice. This was something that had to be done every few hours, and the problem is that it required 5 men and about 90 minutes to do so. So Frank set to work on a better idea. In 1949, he came up with this contraption. using parts from an oil derrick, pulleys, a wooden bin, war surplus parts from a U.S. Army light bomber, and the engine of a Jeep. He created a machine that could do the same task, only required one man in 15 minutes. Now, the Zamboni didn't expect really to make any more of these machines until fate stepped in. Former Olympic champion skater and big-time movie star by 1949-1950, Sonya Henny happened to be practicing at Frank's ice rink for her upcoming touring show when she saw his ice resurfacing machine in action. She immediately ordered two, and wherever she went, they went. Pretty soon, Frank started receiving orders for improved versions of his Zamboni, as it's just become known, from all over the world. Hockey team owners, ice rink owners, eventually the Olympics. To date, it is estimated that Zamboni has sold somewhere in the ballpark of about 10,000 of his machines over the years. And honestly, the Zamboni is what makes hockey the only sport where during times when there's not any play going on in between periods, there's actually something that's worthwhile watching, because everybody cheers the Zamboni guy. So Mr. Frank Zamboni. And now, just from because I thought it was really funny file, all right, we have Jimmy Connors and Venus Gerolitis. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Venus Gerolitis was born July 26th, 1954. Very, very successful tennis player for about 15 years, but he never seemed to be able to beat Jimmy Connors. As a matter of fact, he lost to Jimmy Connors in singles play 16 times in a row. Finally, on the 17th time, Venus won. And at the press conference afterwards, Venus stated, "Let that be a lesson to you all. Nobody beats Venus Gerolitis 17 times in a row." So anyway, Venus Gerolitis. Well, thanks for watching, folks. Just to let you know what's coming up next week, we will meet this fellow, a true giant of a man in every sense of the word. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm Carl Lanning, Brazos River Charter School, and we look forward to seeing you right here next week.